Good morning. We're excited to be back. I think first thing I'd like to do is acknowledge certainly our thoughts and prayers are with the people in the Houston area, the Texas Gulf Coast, and we actually, this year, I don't know if we had any when I got here, but we have 7 players from the Houston area now and stuff, and Ty Shelby, who's from that Friendswood area, pretty close to Dickerson, Sloan Spiller, who's from Katy, Logan Lattin's from Houston, Bryant Beatty's from that Galena Park area right now. C.J. Fletcher's from Houston, Perry Carter's from Houston, and we also have Brandon Jones, who was a late addition to our football team from junior college, who's from the Montgomery area, just north of Houston. So, and then, even me. I mean, we got family, and I have a brother and aunt and uncle that live in Houston, and so anyway, our thoughts and prayers, and we've kind of had an eye on what's been going on over there as well. But we're excited about getting going. We thought we had a good camp. We had a productive camp. We managed, we think, to avoid the major injuries. Which I'll get to that. We certainly had some, but we think those guys will come back, and we'll certainly, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, and have a chance to come back. But just a little bit on our team first. I'll answer any questions about any position as we go, but I was going to just kind of summarize some things, and I know reading some of the talking points or whatever. I do want to, John has done a remarkable job since he's been here. I mean, hats off to him. I mean, what he's done in the last week has been incredible. I was looking through some stuff, though. Derek Gore is a junior. He's not a senior. So he's actually was listed on this as a senior. But anyway, the kind of an overview of our team and looking forward to what we're doing. Caleb Evans will start the game at quarterback Thursday against Memphis. Garrett Smith will come in quick in the game as well. The reason being is we want to play both of them. The reason that Caleb will start ahead of Garrett is because, for me and what we do, we say it's open competition. And we're going to compete. We're going to evaluate you every day, and the best guy's going to win. That particular case, Caleb graded out better throughout the course of August camp than Garrett did. Obviously, Garrett has played a lot here, brings big game experience. You can throw in as many factors as you want whenever you try to decide those things. But my factor is you get out there and compete. And we had 23, 24 practices, I think, at August camp, and we grade them every day. Caleb came out on top of that, so he'll get an opportunity to start. I think both kids did good, as did Will Collins. I think is much improved. We'll play 4 guys at running back. Derek Gore will start the game. Austin Vaughn will sit the game. We're hoping possibly in the next couple weeks that Austin Vaughn will be back into the deal. At the tight end position, Josh Peterson will start. Had a really good camp. We'll play 3 other guys. Tyler Lamb was out last year with ACL, came back, was doing well, kind of tweaked it again. So we're hoping certainly by maybe week 3 or week 4, we got an opportunity to get Tyler Lamb back because we think he's going to contribute big time to what we're doing. Receiver-wise, we'll probably play 8 guys. Everybody's healthy at the position, which we're excited about. I think we're hoping that probably the most improved player we feel like on our football team right now is Brian Williams, and we're hoping that at 6'4", whatever he is, 220 pounds, that he can really have the impact of what he's had in our practices and our scrimmages. But he's really looked good and really looks, I think for the first time I've been here, he looks really comfortable as a wide receiver and stuff. So we're really excited about that moving forward. Offensive line wise, we could, we're planning on possibly even playing 10 or 11 guys when you look at it. I think the starting lineups are correct. I mean, going forward in what we're doing, but we expect to play other guys. The other guy, too, that's a question mark that I would say is more doubtful than probable is Keaton Baggs. He's another kid that came back from ACL, was doing well. His, typical with guys that come back from ACL injuries. I'm not sure, really, if we're going to let him go. Wet conditions, we're certainly not going to let him go. So we'll see, but he's close. I mean, he's got opportunity the next couple of weeks to get back, and no question, he was a starter last year when he got hurt. He'll help us when he gets back. Defensive tackle-wise, we're going to play 6 guys. We're very, very excited to have David Elias back. David's had really good days and days that he didn't feel so well. And it's just something, coming back from the type of injury he had, but he will play in the game. And we're hoping that he continues to get better. He was a starter also when he got hurt, if you guys remember that. And we're hoping that he can come back and make a contribution there. Defensive end-wise, we'll play 6 guys. Caleb Tucker is Tucker's Tucker. Donald Lewis has really come on. Ty Shelby's really come on. We're excited about that position. At the linebacker position, it'll be the same 4 guys as last year. Griffin and Dale start. Cisco and Dunn we will rotate very, very freely at that position. We are taking red shirt off of Rashad Harding, and he will also play this year. At our down safety position, we're going to play Turner and Jenkins. Logan Lattin got hurt in the last scrimmage of the Sunday scrimmage or whatever. At the time, the doctor had said 3 to 4 weeks, so he's not quite ready yet. But we're hoping in the next week or 2 he can come back. Free safety-wise, be Ingram and Roy Williams. Weak safety will be Thompson and Hetrick. We are also taking a red shirt off of Travion Webster. So he will play. He'll play on all special teams, and he'll figure into the mix as excuse me, as the 2 back safety positions. Corners, Offrey and Dallas will start. We think Jarrell Brown will play. Jarrell Brown actually sat out the last scrimmage, so we think that he'll be okay to play. Marcus Hubbard had ACL injury surgery during spring ball, and he's about a month to 6 weeks ahead. So look for him. I don't know about next week against Florida State, but we certainly are optimistic about him being back for Southern Miss for sure. And he's going to give us a big boost when he comes back. We feel like he's one of the better ones that we have on the back end. We're also taking the red shirt off of Marbles and Strader. They're both going to play. I love them. They're good kids. They're here early. They stay late. They work hard, and they're good football players. And they're gonna play as well. Special teams wise, Craig Ford will be the kicker. The PAT field goal guy. Close competition, really. We got another transfer kid in here for August by the name of Matt Wiley, who has really been impressive. And Matt is hands down the kickoff guy. And we hope he can help us there. We were last in the Sun Belt Conference last year in kickoff coverage in terms of field position and where the opponent started. And we're hoping that he can give us a big boost there. Harrison Heim looks really good. Really excited about Luke Hutchinson. We were able to get Luke in here this summer. He's going to be our long snapper and short snapper. Luke has actually snapped every snap of every game the last 2 years at the University of Washington, even in the semifinal game against Alabama. They punted 6 or 7 times, and he's a snapper. So he's been there, he's done it, and we're excited about him. Kickoff return will be McCray and Green. Gordon Carter probably could figure in there too. And then punt returner, we got Marcus Green back. So it's kind of an overview of our football, of our team. We're going to play a really good football team in Memphis. Looking at them last year, they were 8-4. They have good football players and a good football team. It all starts with their quarterback. He's really good. He can get out of his hand and do some things. The thing I've been impressed with about Memphis is I think they're built a lot like the teams that we had at McNeese when you look at them, and they can run. And that's what we're trying to get to. They have great team speed. They'll put you in a bind on offense. They'll run they're going to spread out. They're going to up tempo it. They'll hand the football off, but then they'll throw it out on the RPO stuff to those little guys, and they can do it now. They can run in space and run in the open field, and certainly a big concern of ours, being that also those guys are also really good return guys. They got two guys back. One guy returned 2 for touchdowns last year. Another kid, when they kicked it away from him, returned 1 back for touchdowns. So, and they're back. So anyway, we know we're playing a good football team. Anytime you go 8-4, beat teams like Houston, so on and so forth, go to a bowl game, and then you have 9 starters back on one side and 7 on the other side, they got to feel pretty good about themselves going forward and stuff. So I think Coach Norvell has done a really good job there. This will be his 2nd year, and really good football coach. He was the OC at Arizona State, but we know Mike. He played and coached for Clint at Central Arkansas and stuff, and has moved up really fast since then. So good guy, good football coach. So it's going to be a tough challenge. We know that. 8:17. I don't think I've ever kicked off at 8:17. Be a long day in that hotel, I know that, leading up to the game. But our guys are excited. It's accumulation of a lot of work, and we'll see, because that's the thing about college football that I think makes it unique. Really, when you look at any other sport, at any other level, the first time it's real. The first time you see a different color jersey, it's real. No scrimmages, no jamborees, no exhibitions, no nothing. The first time you see it and stuff. So anyway, we're excited, like I said, but we'll have to see kind of how it goes from there, and and see how our guys react, because we do have a few new players. I know we only have 8 seniors, but we have some new players at some spots, and I think we're a better football team. The question for us is how much better, and that's what we got to find out.
Coach, I guess, when did you come to the decision? How difficult of a decision was to name Caleb the starter over Garrett?
It's always a difficult decision. I think they're both good, but we sat down and Coach Kubik and he has a graduate assistant, Tyler Bofing. They chart everything every day, and we grade everything every day, because August camp you have time, just like a game. Who graded the best, who did this, or whatever. And at the end of the day, when it all shook up, Caleb was better, and they both took equal reps with the ones. So the way that Coach Kubik did it this year, which I really liked a lot, which I've never done it this way, is one day Garrett ran all with the ones, the next day Caleb ran all with the ones. So they rotated every day. So we felt like they got equal reps and everything. Like I said, though, Garrett's going to play quick in the game, but we tell the players, hey, this is open competition. You're going to compete the next guy. Whoever grades the best, whoever does the best consistently through camp is going to be the starter. And if that's the case, then we got to stick to it, because last year or whatever can't matter, when it comes. Every year's a new year, and I love competition, and I think you have to do that. You have to go out there and, hey, each year's a new year. Let's grade everybody. Let's see how it shakes out. And that's the way it shook out. So that's the way we'll start.
Looking at the playing 2 quarterbacks, you've done this before with McNeese in the past. How does this situation kind of differ from the way you've done it in the past, or are there similarities there?
I think that, if you look at it, the last time I did it at McNeese, we had 2 different guys, totally different guys and stuff. So, what I did is going in, and that's when, I was heavily involved in the offense or whatever. We had 2 different game plans. But did it years ago, we had 2 different game plans. This is the second time that I've seen it where it's the same game plan. Both kids can throw it, they can run it, they can get out of pocket. You can have bootlegs and sprint outs, and so they're very similar in their skill set in terms of what they do, because everybody knows that Garrett can run. And last year toward the end of the season, in our quarterback situation, we tried to keep Caleb as upright as we could. He can really run the football. You're looking at a kid that ran 21.3 in the 200 his senior year. He can run. So we won't cut him loose too, running the ball and stuff. So I think the thing that may be a little bit different from the last couple of times I did at McNeese is it's the same game plan. That doesn't have to change.
Is it easier from that regard then, just to have them on the same game plan?
Yeah, very easy. We haven't changed anything. We haven't done anything in practice. Caleb's in, Garrett's in, Caleb's in, whatever. Same calls, same things. I even went a step further in practice. As we, in spring ball, always ran the same offense. When we got to August camp, if I had 2 different guys, I scripted practice 2 different ways for those 2 guys. In other words, if we were running these 6 or 8 plays and this guy was in, I scripted those 6 or 8 for that guy. And then, but here, we haven't done anything like that. Just whoever's in's in. And we haven't had to change for Will either. So,
What's going on with Bags now, injury-wise, and when you expect him to be back?
I think he's done stuff in practice. He actually went through the second scrimmage. But the thing, when those guys come back from ACL injuries, it's they have really good and really days that aren't so good, in terms of, because the things that you do to get back and testing your knee and all that, that's one thing. Going through multiple days of practice back to back to back, that's another thing. And so he's had a couple times where he hasn't re-injured it, but it flares up or it swells up. then you got to let it quiet down a couple of days, and then he comes back, and then it happens, and you got to let it. Same thing has happened with David Elias. You got to let it quiet down. Tyler Lamb, you got to let it quiet down. You got to let swelling go down. So it's just it. I'm not surprised because that happens with kids that come back from ACL surgeries. It's a 9-month ordeal, unless you're Marcus Hubbard. So.
Looking at the offensive line, think back to where it was when you took over. Now you're in a position. You talk about platooning a full 2 different units. Just what are your thoughts on the depth there and how those guys have got there?
Just extremely excited about it, and we have a starting 5, and I had to look on there to see who it was, to be honest with you, today, because I don't know. We keep rotating guys in there. I see where Devin Jackson's starting at left tackle. Devin's also going to play right guard. I've seen Trace Ellison at left tackle. I've seen Trace Ellison moved over. I've seen Jacoria Savage. I'm talking about all with the ones at different times of August camp. So I think that, Coach Nagavi just, hey, we're going to start with these 5. But, again, we keep rotating those guys in and out, and stuff, and trying to create some depth, which I always have, and stuff. So, but no, it's exciting, really, to see. I think that we're moving in the right direction in terms of, in a lot of positions, not just O-line. We're starting to build, in my opinion, and look like a football team, like a Division I football team with numbers and people and size and O-line wise, we only have 1 senior. So I think we're building an offensive line unit, and we're excited about that.
Coach, with another year of maturity for your defense, you're going to tough territory, Memphis. How difficult is it going to be stopping a dual threat quarterback? Riley, I forgot his last name, but threw for like 3,000 yards last year. How difficult is it going to be stopping that guy?
No, very difficult. About 3,500 to be exact, but very, very difficult. And the other thing too that going into the game and looking at it is the preparing for the no huddle, the fast. We do it some in practice, but you're trying to coach and teach, and sometimes. So I never really know if we're quite ready for that, to be honest with you. So that concerns me, really. The fatigue factor, and a lot of that. Really, we need to help on offense, and have some sustained drives and keep them off the field because at times Memphis they're going to try to run as many plays as they can, and so. We're going to rotate guys in and out on defense to try to keep them fresh and all that. But I think we're going to be, again, it's been my theme really the whole spring and the whole August camp, whatever. We're going to be better because, we need to be a lot better everywhere. And so that's the question. Are we a lot better? We're definitely better. And even on the defensive side, if you look, what we can do a lot better is run than what we could last year. And if you can't run in today's football, the game's played in space, Sorry, trying to find out who in here is as old as I am, but we could have played in this room, but the way the game's played today, it's played in space. You have to be able to cover and tackle in space. That's why I think we struggled at times last year defensively. That's why we were horrendous on kick coverage, because you just better be able to do it. Memphis is going to have 4 wides. Sometimes 5 wides. They're going to spread you out. You have to be able to cover guys. And not only cover guys, you have to be able to tackle guys in space. Everybody can tackle a guy between these chairs, but you have to be able to tackle guys and stuff. And that's something I think we'll be better at, than what we were last year.
I guess throughout camp, we've seen the defense step up a lot in a couple of scrimmages. What do you think overall the progression from day 1 to now of your defense overall?
Well, I think we've gotten a lot better in the sense that I think, number one, our players are better. I'm talking about the whole, not necessarily trying to single out any position, but I think, when you look at, say, the top 22 guys that hit the field, I just think we're going to have better units. Second thing is I think there's a lot better knowledge of the defense and kind of how we want to play and what we want to do from practice, from the meeting room to practice to the game, all of that. The third thing, which is often goes overlooked, is I think the trust factor from the players to the coaches and the coaches to the players is a lot better. And before you play with confidence, you have to trust. And okay, I trust what we're doing and what the coach is saying and, you know, the whole deal. But I think anytime you have a new staff and, you know, you totally change, and we totally changed defenses, you know, and started back over from square one. And so I think we have another year under our belt, and I think that we have guys that will go out there and play a little bit more confident than what they were playing last year.
Coach, you mentioned the late start time. How does that change up maybe preparation and making sure you don't run out of gas or expend too much energy earlier in the day?
You know, it's just, I mean, we just back everything up and kind of, you know, go off of what would be a normal schedule, but back it up. You know, most of the time, you only eat twice. You know, if you play obviously at noon or something, you know, so now you really need to eat 3 times. I mean, you know, if you're not going to play till 8 o'clock, which that's a little different, you know, I guess. The other thing too that we're going to do that's I've done before. Matter of fact, I think the last time I did it was 2012. I think we actually beat Middle Tennessee, but we kicked off like at 8 o'clock or something. So we actually took them to Middleton, which we're doing here. We're going to go to the Liberty Bowl at 9:30, and how we would normally have a day before walkthrough, we're going to have it that deal, you know, whatever there, because just to get them out of the hotel, just where they're not sitting all day. And we normally get them out in the parking lot, Aaron, but I want to get them change clothes, get in the bus, work up a sweat, maybe take a shower there at, you know what I'm saying, and just try to get them going, because so that's different, probably what I normally do. But you know, and then the other thing is too, I really would like to get some of these new guys on at the Liberty Bowl that morning. You know, just let's move around a little bit, you know, and kind of, you know, maybe get a little bit better, more familiar with their surroundings.
I know you said earlier it's, you know, different seeing, you know, different colored jerseys and, you know, just being a real situation. Have you sensed any, you know, first game jitters at your players leading up to Memphis?
I don't know. You know, players, I don't know, I think they're excited, you know. I don't mean players, and you know, we try to stay on normal routines and say the same things, and but so I don't know, unless they've talked to the other coaches. I know I got jitters, so that's all I know. So, but no, they seem fine. You know, they came back yesterday. We gave them Saturday off, got on a normal routine, treated yesterday like Tuesday. Today is like a Wednesday for us. Tomorrow will be like a Thursday. Travel on Friday. So, you know, we'll see. But no, they really didn't say anything to me. Which that doesn't mean anything. They normally don't say much to me. They might have said something to one of their coaches. They don't say anything to me. They just look at me. Anybody else? Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for your coverage of camp too. We appreciate it.